I'm Don Brown. As a cruise lecturer, I recently shared my over 30 years policing experience with hundreds of passengers on a traditional cruise on board the Thompson Spirit. The service, food and entertainment were excellent, and I had the pleasure of meeting many interesting fellow travellers amongst the packed audiences who came to hear my presentations. With the support of the cruise director and Peel Entertainment staff, I shared a whole range of true stories with the passengers, which to their obvious delight brought murder mystery programmes like Poirot, Sherlock Holmes and many others to life. Truth is often stranger than fiction, and during my career, at the peak of which I was a detective chief superintendent in one of England's largest police forces, I worked on hundreds of high-profile cases, including murders, vice and serious crime. I was also a divisional police commander and was the leader on more pleasant policing occasions such as the Commonwealth Games, royal visits and celebrity festivals. I have a selection of presentations which have been praised and appreciated by cruise passengers on global international cruises. Some tell tales of my own policing adventures, such as how I was decorated for bravery by the Queen for tackling an armed terrorist whilst out on unarmed patrol. Others, how the police protected the public from rioters, vice, racketeers and those intent on committing serious violent crime. In my keynote presentation, which I call Protect and Serve, I illustrate the demands of policing an inner city beat in a light-hearted and occasionally serious tale about the underbelly of urban life. For those who follow the TV series Life on Mars or Ashes to Ashes, some of this will be very familiar. One of my most successful and popular cruise presentations is a murder mystery, which I call Closing the Ring, which is based on a real-life murder investigation. The audience gets a chance to take part in each stage of the murder inquiry and work out who done it, with a rather surprising conclusion. The public has a seemingly insatiable interest in crime, policing and punishment, and I can share interesting facts about those and a range of other similar topics, both historical and present day. Take organised crime, for example, whose tentacles reach out to touch almost everyone. From identity theft to bogus charities, I explore those niche crime scams and how they can exploit the unwary. In this presentation, I explain to audiences how they can avoid becoming unwitting victims of these type of scams. As a community safety director in a major northern city, I now lead a piece of work on a nationally acclaimed project tackling the blight of organised gang crime, which damages communities across the UK and indeed elsewhere in the world. The presentation, Tackling Crime the Elliot Ness Way, shows audiences how wicked criminals who think they're untouchable are in fact being actively targeted and put behind bars, with their ill-gotten gains seized and used for the benefit of the public. I am fascinated by historical policing and murders, in particular the Victorian Whitechapel murders of Jack the Ripper, about which I can engage my audience with a tale of victims and suspects, asking them to decide who they think the murderers might have been. This always engenders a lively debate. You may not have heard of him yet, but I share with the audience the life of the Sherlock Holmes of Manchester, a Victorian policeman called Jerome Caminada, who was the first ever detective in Manchester. As Jerome rose through the ranks to international acclaim, it is said he imprisoned over 1,200 criminals and closed 400 public houses which were being used as a base for crime and vice in the city. I regularly prepare new presentations. For example, I am currently looking at a range of issues such as serial killers and their motivations, Are police programmes realistic? And espionage. Policing is not my only area of expertise. As a proud Scotsman, not only can I talk in detail about our beloved and immortal bard Robert Burns, having officiated over countless Burns suppers and even delivered the toast immortal memory, I can talk about many aspects of Scottish culture, including tartans, music and history. I hope I have given you a flavour of my portfolio of cruise presentations, many of which have been commended by countless passengers. In this time-limited DVD, I can only touch on some of the topics with which I can entertain your passengers. If you would like to engage me, or I can assist you any further, I can be contacted by the leaders in this field of work, the Cruise Lecturers Association website. Thank you.